Okay, we're good to go. Stand by. Sorry for the delay. We are good to go. So let's stand by for the Spanish translation side in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go Spanish translation.
Interpretación en español está disponible. Para interpretación, haga clic en el icono del globo terrestre en la parte inferior de la pantalla.
Who are we? We are the ones who step up for each other. I've got your back. You've got mine. Kindness, humility, empathy. It's not just talk. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. And no one can take that from us. The movement to bring it back, it started here. And here. And here. In school gymnasiums, community centers, the living room down the block. You'll be where? Okay, we'll be there. Who are we? We're the movement that will beat Donald Trump. Welcome. We're going to have to sweat for it. We're going to have to sacrifice and fight. We're going to have to lead. Everyone is going to have to lead with kindness, humility, empathy, and not just talk, but action. Action today, action tomorrow. Action until we win. And we will win if we do this together. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. Now let's show them.
Welcome to this Biden-Harris campaign event, Florida pre-debate event. Please welcome Florida Democratic Party First Vice Chair, Judy Mount.
Good evening, Democratic family. Good evening, Florida Democrats. Good evening, Democratic Women's Club of Florida, and a special giant good evening to St. Petersburg, Florida, the home of our illustrious speaker this evening. I'm so excited to have her here. For those who don't know me, I'm Judy Mount, and I am the first vice chair of the Florida Democratic Party. In addition to that, I am the first African-American to hold this position, as well as the first African-American to be chair of the Florida Democratic Party. We've got 12 days left. That is 12 days that we have to keep pushing, volunteering, donating, phone banking, and doing all that we can to create an unprecedented turnout for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Make no mistake, this election has already started. November the 3rd is when it ends. Floridians are already turning out in record numbers. If you haven't voted yet, go to iwillvote.com. That's iwillvote.com right now and make a plan to vote early. The debate we are about to watch is going to show us all what we already know, that Donald Trump is wrong for America. He is not up to the job. He doesn't care about us nor our families. He has no plan to get us out of this pandemic and revive our economy. He is a threat to our democracy and our future. Since the last debate, Donald Trump, his family, and his team at the White House have tested positive for COVID-19. The president was in the hospital and is back to tweeting dangerous and outrageous conspiracy theories. How can we expect him to protect us if he can't protect himself and his people from the virus? Joe Biden and Donald Trump will share a stage tonight, but that is the only thing that they share. We know that Joe Biden is a proven leader with integrity and strength. Joe Biden knows working families. Joe Biden knows what it means to care for a sick family member. He's been a single parent. Joe knows that Americans need access to health insurance now more than ever. Joe inherited a busted economy when he was vice president, and he will revive and reimagine our economy when he is president so it works for all of us. Unlike Donald Trump, who only cares about himself, Joe will be a president for all Americans in every corner of this great country. Times are hard, yes, but we have a way out. We all need to vote and vote early for Joe. So let's watch this debate and then get right back to it for the next 12 days. The stakes are way too high, ladies and gentlemen, way too high. And now it is my pleasure to introduce one of my political besties, Osceola County Commissioner Viviana Janer.
Thank you so much. It's such a privilege and honor to be here with all these wonderful speakers, with Miss Angela Bassett, but especially you, the fabulous Miss Judy Mount. I am Viviana Janer. I'm the chairwoman of the Osceola Board of County Commissioners, and I also am a historic first. I was the first Hispanic woman to ever be elected to the Osceola Board in 100 years. So as a woman, as a Puerto Rican, as a Floridian, and as a human being, the choice in this election is beyond clear. We must work hard as we can, to get out that early vote for Joe Biden. Let's be clear, this is the most consequential election in our history. Like Judy said, we have 12 days to elect the only candidate that will move our country forward. Donald Trump has divided our country, especially the Hispanic community. His campaign was built on a platform of racism and discrimination, and it has not stopped since he became president. A full quarter of our children in the United States today are Hispanic. But what does Donald Trump do? He puts them in cages. Thousands of Americans' lives were lost in Hurricane Maria. What did Donald Trump do? Throw paper towels instead of providing the aid that the island still to this day desperately needs. He is still talking about selling Puerto Rico because he simply does not believe that we are American citizens. Joe Biden will not only end the constant attacks on immigrants, Joe Biden offers a real plan to empower Black and Brown communities and help them reach their full potential. He will fight for the success of our small businesses and our working families. He will make sure our immigration system reflects our values as Americans. He will work tirelessly to create access to quality, affordable healthcare. We need competent, composed, and compassionate leaders who will unite our country. Joe Biden has been that type of leader his entire life. We know who Donald Trump is. But guess what? It's time to show him who we are by showing out this election for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We talk about Election Day a lot, but here in Florida, every day is Election Day right now because vote by mail ballots have already been distributed across the state, and in-person early voting is well underway in most counties, including mine. If you already have received your ballot, vote early. Remember to seal it, sign it, date it, and deliver it. Go to iwillvote.com or voyavotar.com today to learn what choices you have to vote in your community, to get information about where and when to vote. And now I will turn it back to you, Judy, so you could introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Janer. We've been missing you. We need to get back together. Our next speaker is one of my new friends, and I'm loving her. I really love her. Congressman Debbie Mccarsel-Powell.
Well, good evening, Vice Chair Judy. Thank you so much for having me on this very exciting night. Commissioner, very excellent advice for everyone. We have to go out and vote. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be with one of my idols, Angela Bassett. Thank you for joining us tonight here in Florida. My name is Congresswoman Debbie Mucarsel-Powell. I am the first South American member to ever be elected to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives. And Florida, this is it. We have 12 days left to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and salvage our democracy. 12 days to save our immigrant communities from the constant attacks from the Trump administration. We know that Joe Biden offers a real plan to empower Hispanic and immigrant communities. And every day, this campaign is focused on meaningful and authentic engagement to earn the support of Hispanic voters. Believe me, I know. We have 12 days to elect the candidate who actually has a plan to get us out of this pandemic so that we can start building back better. But that is not the only public health epidemic that we face. My father was a victim of a senseless act of gun violence. In Congress, I have fought for universal background checks and a ban on assault rifles so that families don't have to endure the tragedy that my family did. Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress are owned by the gun lobby. Joe Biden has taken on the gun lobby before and will defeat them for good when he becomes president. And like he's done his entire life, Joe Biden will bring his extraordinary empathy to bear in every decision that he makes. He knows there is trauma that far outlasts the loss of a loved one. Donald Trump doesn't know the meaning of empathy or sacrifice. He only cares about himself. So after this debate, let's put our heads back down and work as hard as we possibly can to bring this election home. Whoever wins Florida will likely win the Electoral College and be our next president. So we have the power to decide this election right now. Go to iwillvote.com and make a plan to vote early if you haven't already. It is easy, it is convenient, and it is secure. And it is your right. And right now, I will turn it on to my dear friend, Vice Chair Judy Mount. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative Mucarsel-Powell. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit closer to hearing the fabulous Angela Bassett, our Florida homegirl, bring a message that will excite all of us. But in the meantime, I'm going to introduce Jamar Wilson, who will introduce Angela Bassett.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Jamar Wilson, and I am the Surrogate Director for the Florida Biden-Harris campaign. And here with us is a woman whom most know from the big TV screen and Hollywood highlights, a woman whom by her choice and assertive stance only plays the role of African-American women whom are strong, bold, resilient, and self-assured, born in New York City, but grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. She is held in high regard by women across the country. but her excellence isn't just exuded through her work in film. It is also exemplified in her commitment to civic engagement. In 2012, at a campaign office in St. Petersburg, Florida, she said that the election was not one where we can sit in on the sidelines. After Clinton was defeated in the general election, she tweeted, only 1,455 days until November the 3rd, 2020. Rest up, my country. Well, we are now 12 days away, and she is here to show us yet again that she would not sit on the sidelines, and nor should we. I have the esteemed privilege and honor to boldly but humbly introduce one of my faves, one of the very few women whom I've always looked up to, greatly admire, and have high respect for, actress, director, producer, and activist who is all in with the Biden-Harris presidential campaign, Angela Evelyn Bassett.
Thank you so much, Jamara. Thank you so very much for that wondrous introduction. Thank you, Judy, Viviana, Kate, and Congresswoman Mucarsel-Powell, for all the tremendous work that you're doing on behalf of Floridians as we head into what I believe is the most important election of our lifetime. As many of you know, Florida is the place that I still call home. Although I live thousands of miles away in California, Florida has and will always have my heart. I care about what happens here. And most importantly, I care deeply about my fellow Floridians. So that's why it's important for me to be with you here tonight. This is such an important time. And I am so proud to see that the people of Florida have taken advantage of the early voting. And as a result, we have shattered the turnout records across the state. And that's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's critical to keeping that momentum going, because no matter what, your voice and your vote, it matters. Remember that. So please tell everyone that you know, as it's been said and cannot be reiterated enough, go to iwillvote.com to learn about the choices that you have to vote in your communities and for the information about where and when to vote, because it varies from county to county. It can. So go for reliable information there. It was also very important for me to be here to speak with you about Joe Biden and why he's my guy. He's my candidate. I'm a mother of two 14-year-olds. They're twins, a boy, a girl. And they're at that age where they understand what's happening in our world. They're also starting to form opinions and develop their own perspectives about the world and what it means to be their individual selves. The country that they've witnessed over the course of these past 4 years, well, it's been chaotic, unsafe, unkind, divisive, and most disappointingly, one without a real and effective leadership. Now, children naturally look to adults for guidance and for support. And as a parent, well, I have to tell you, it's been difficult to explain to them, and sometimes even to myself, how we got here. 2020 has been an extremely difficult year for so many of us. We've lost loved ones. We've lost jobs. We've lost homes. And for far too many of us, we've lost hope. But the one amazing gift, the one truly amazing gift in all of it that 2020 does have to offer us is the right to vote and to bring about change. Joe Biden is that change. I had the privilege of meeting Joe in 2012 on election night in Chicago. Joe was he was at President Obama's side as his vice president. I found him to be warm, accessible, compassionate, and dedicated to being a servant of the people of this country, just as he's done his entire career. When Joe sees a problem that threatens the American people, that threatens American democracy, he steps forward. Why? Because that is what leaders do. They step up. Joe is a leader. He's a leader who genuinely cares and always wants the best for our country. He is a leader who is honest. And he is a leader who holds himself and others around him accountable. That's the kind of leader that we crave, that we need. I imagine a future with Joe Biden as our president, and the anxiety, the uncertainty, and the fear that has enveloped our country, it will begin to ease for me. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be fast and easy, because it's far from it. Because there's a lot of hard work that has to be done to restore all that has been torn at the fabric of our democracy. But I do believe that Joe has the ability, the willingness, the tenacity, the knowledge, the experience, as well as the commitment to do the job. Joe would be a president that my children, my husband, and I can be proud of. In closing, the late and esteemed Representative Elijah Cummings left us with some very, very wise words that I believe are particularly poignant in this time. Now, he once quoted his mama, and we should listen to our mothers. His mother was a sharecropper, and she said, "Do not let them take our votes away from us. Voting is crucial, and I don't give a damn how you look at it. There are efforts to stop people from voting. That's not right. This is not Russia. This is the United States of America." So the question in 2020 is, what did you do to make sure that we kept our democracy intact? I voted. Thank you again for all that you do. And thank you for having me with you tonight. Let's change this, people. Let's change this, Florida. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Bassett. Thank you for continuing to be the queen that you are. And thank you for coming home and assisting your folks. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Thank you
so much, so much. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the words from Queen Ramonda. I love your passion as well.
Oh, I can't help it. That's Florida passion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those wonderful remarks. And now it is my task to introduce Brandon Peters, who is our Voter Protection Director here in the state of Florida. Brandon.
Thank you so much, Vice Chairman. When I told my wife last night that I was going to have to speak on the heels of the wonderful Mrs. Angela Bassett, she said, "Oh, honey, no pressure at all. No matter what you say, it's going to be a disappointment to the audience." So here I am, and my name is Brandon Peters, and I have the honor and the privilege to work as the Florida Voter Protection Director on the Florida Coordinated Campaign for the Biden-Harris team. Ever since 2008, when I first volunteered for voter protection with President Obama's first run as a poll watcher, I have gotten out to the polls and helped people feel confident and understand that this election system that we have in here has integrity. And I went to the polls on Monday as a poll watcher, even though I'm in charge of thousands of poll watchers statewide, I went to the polls because I wanted to feel what it was like. Well, let me tell you what it feels like out there. And I've done this every cycle. It feels like 2008 all over again. The enthusiasm on the part of voters is absolutely contagious. Turnout is strong. Voters are enthusiastic. People feel confident. And you know what? They should feel confident, because when the Florida Democratic Party founded a full-time permanent voter protection program and hired me, a 28-year trial lawyer, a year and a half ago to start planning this thing out, we did. We took thousands of snaps in football parlance. We took thousands of free throws in basketball parlance. We are ready. We have gamed out every conceivable thing that could happen, and we are ready for it. And you know what? The other side knows that. So they're messing with states like Pennsylvania, unfortunately, a lot more than they're messing with us. But if they want to come down here and play, we're ready. We got a whole toy box full of toys. And so look, we want people to know that preparation, just like it has for me in the courtroom for 28 years, it wins elections too. And we are prepared. And so voters, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, you should feel confident. We want you to go vote. Your vote counts. Your vote is the mute button that silences all the noise and the chaos and the confusion that we have endured for the past 4 years. So understand that your voter protection team is ready. I set out at the beginning of this mission to recruit 15,000 volunteers. I am shocked at the number of volunteers we actually have on hand. I'm not going to tell you the real number, but what I will tell you is that in Miami-Dade County alone, we credentialed over 1,100 Democratic poll watchers. Try that on for size. That'll give you an idea of just how staggeringly massive this operation is. So we have never in the history of presidential elections had the kind of on-the-ground support financially and logistically in the history of presidential elections in the voter protection department. It is unprecedented, the size of the team we have here. And so we're here for you. And as every speaker tonight has reiterated, and I'm going to say it one more time, if you're a voter and you have any questions whatsoever, you can get those questions answered by going to voyavotar.com. You can go to iwillvote.com/FL or the voter protection hotline, 833-VOTE-FLA. Today, make a plan to vote if you have not already done so, and vote early, and tell your friends and your family to do likewise. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you all tonight. Ms. Bassett, Congresswoman, of course, Vice Chair Mount, thank you very much for everything you do for America and for democracy.
Thank you so much, Brandon. That is just wonderful. And he, ladies and gentlemen, is over our voter protection for the Florida Democratic Party. And he is, remember the name. So when you get ready to make your call, if anything happens, you will know who to ask for. That is Attorney Brandon Peters, just like it sounds. Thank you so much, Brandon, for all that you do. Next, we will have Samir Rao.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Congresswoman Mucarsel-Powell. Thank you, Ms. Bassett, for those wonderful speeches. My name is Samir. I'm a field organizer here in Santa Rosa County in the Panhandle with the Biden campaign. I think all of us remember back in November 2016 how we all felt after that election when Donald Trump was elected. For me, I was in DC. I was a sophomore in college. I had just voted in my first election ever, and a day that started off with immense excitement ended in just utter devastation. And I knew that after that election, I never wanted to feel like that again. And I'm in this fight because, among so many things, healthcare is on the ballot this year. I was in DC when Republicans were fighting so hard to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act with a bill that was going to take away healthcare from over 20 million Americans. And if Republicans and Donald Trump win the election this year, they are going to do that all over again. They are in court right now asking the Supreme Court to take away healthcare from 20 million Americans. The first way that we stop that from happening is by winning this election. And I am working to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because I know that they are going to fight for a bill that expands on the Affordable Care Act so that more Americans have access to high quality, affordable health care. But none of that can happen if we don't win, and we need all of your help to make sure that we win. We are just 12 days out from Election Day, and as the Congresswoman said, if we win Florida, we win the election. We have a chance here to end Donald Trump's presidency and end this nightmare once and for all. So if you haven't made calls before, if you haven't volunteered before, this is the time to get started. And now you will see here on your screen, a poll popped up. Millions of people have already voted. As we've talked about already, early voting has begun in Florida, and we are expecting even higher record turnout this weekend. Can we count on you to help Team Joe at early vote sites this weekend? Please use this poll on your screen here to sign up for a time. And once you do, a local organizer or someone on the staff will reach out to you to give you more information about how you can staff these early voting locations to help people stay in line, keep them energized, monitor the lines, just so that we can turn out every single Floridian in Florida to make sure that we win this election. We're just 12 days out. Let's watch this debate. Let's watch Joe Biden win this debate, and let's get to work and win this election. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Samir, for all that you do. And especially thank you for working over here in God's country, the panhandle of Florida. Thank you so much. Next, we will have Kate Beacon to come to the front and give her message. Kate?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here. My name is Kate Beacon. I am on our Florida digital team, working to make sure we are taking action all across, not just in real life on the ground, but also online. We're going to talk a little bit about what you can do right now to organize people in your life. If you are in Florida, you likely know people, you likely have friends, and you have family, and they need to vote. With the Vote Joe app and our relational organizing tools, you can help us win Florida. You know, we can make all the cold calls we want. That's going to be really effective, but we also need to layer that with working with our personal relationships. Using relational voter contact alongside this cold calling direct voter contact, we can reach voters and win on November 3rd. Let's just take a moment. How many texts, how many emails, and how many calls do you receive every day from a campaign? You probably get a lot. So how do we break through that noise and make sure our voices are being heard? Well, you can't unsubscribe from your mom. You can't block them on your phone. You know, these are your family members. We want to use our existing relationships and cut through this noise. You know, reaching out to our mom, our dad, our siblings, our children, our college roommates, our neighbors, so that we can have real, honest conversations with our personal network and make sure that they have a voting plan. You are the best messenger. For undecided voters, they will value hearing from you. You are already a member of their community, and you already have more in common with them. You have a context about their life experiences and how they identify more than the campaign does. For low turnout voters, you know what would motivate them to turn out, but the most effective thing is just the fact that you're asking them. Social pressure is one of our best tactics at hand for voter turnout. If a voter thinks that most people in the network are voting, it'll make them feel like it's weird for them not to vote. If you are helping them make a plan to vote, register, sign up to vote by mail, it is much easier for you to follow up with them, and they know that too. So we need to find this balance. We need this relational aspect, reaching out to our friends and family, our coworkers, our church members, and even our mom. With this direct voter contact we do with targeting and all the crazy stuff campaigns do, we need to even it out with this relational aspect. So I want everyone, take 5 minutes and think of 5 people. Who are 5 people in your life that you can reach out to? They might be friends, they might be family members, they might be coworkers, they might be old roommates, they might be the old sports teammates, they might be your neighbor. And then think about how you would usually connect with them. Would you text them? Would you call them? Would you send them an email? What is going to be the most effective? Come up with those 5 names and we are going to contact them right now. Have a conversation with them, make it your own. These are people in your life. Do not make it sound like a robot. Talk with them like you normally would. Ask them about the upcoming election. Ask them if they know who they're supporting. And most importantly, make sure that they have a plan to vote. For example, here's just a casual one. Say, hey, did you catch the playoffs? Or hey, did you just catch the Rays game last night? And did you see them make an announcement, or did you see any of the ads about this upcoming election? Have you made your plan to vote yet? So take 5 minutes, reach out to all of them, text them, call them, have a real conversation. Please, we need you to talk with them. These are your personal family members, and you have more of an influence in their life than any of us ever will. All right, so while you take that time to contact them, we're gonna talk about how you're gonna report it. If you're having these conversations and our campaign doesn't know, we're gonna keep following up with them until we have information that you might already have. So we're gonna go ahead, pull out your phone, and we're gonna download the Vote Joe app so that you can record all of the conversations that you have. Take out the app, get ready to follow along, get your phone ready. There are 3 ways you can download Vote Joe. The first one, I think it's the easiest, text app, APP to 30330. That's app to 30330. From here, it'll immediately provide you with a link to download the app. You also can go to your app store on your phone and search up Vote Joe. Once you get in the app, it's gonna ask you to set up your account. It'll ask you for your name, your language, your zip code. We're gonna do all of that. Get your name in, get your language. Make sure you put your zip code in there. That way we know what state you're in and we can best, so if you're in Florida, we have Florida specific action to take. And this is also gamified. When you enter your name and your phone number, we keep track of how much action you are taking so that you get points and credit for what you're doing. And then make your login. Your login can be hooked to an existing Google account or an email. You also can hook it up to an Apple account. Get into the Vote Joe app and make sure that you have everything that you need. Once you're all logged in, it's gonna prompt you with your first mission. Under your first mission, it's gonna remind you again, the people in your phone, the people you know are game changers that we need to win this election. So go ahead, allow notifications so you know when there's new actions, and then go ahead and click this next button. Once you click next, it's then gonna ask you to sync your contacts with our voter file. Just to clarify what this is doing, it is looking at the people in your phone. We do not get any of that information, and it is letting you know where they are in the voter file. How often do they vote? What party are they registered with? And sometimes we can even tell you if they've even voted or not. This makes it easiest for you to know who of your friends you need to reach out to. Make sure you allow your phone to sync your contacts, get it all set. Just as a reminder, this does not mean the campaign will get access to any of that person's information. We do not get their phone number to call. We are simply matching it to what we have in our existing voter file. You retain complete ownership over the contact data. Our app does not, the campaign does not. If at any moment you would like to remove your data from the server, you can easily do that, and all the information will be removed. So once you have synced it, you're then gonna see this lovely list of all of your friends and family. You'll see everyone in your phone, what their party registration is. You'll see this little ballot box, meaning they're in a battleground state. And then you'll see an emoji at the end. If it is a smiley face, this means they are a decently active voter. If it is a sleepy face, it means they haven't voted in a while. And then if it's this hard eyes face, we know that they're not gonna miss an election. I know this is a really interesting page. You want to see all about all of your friends and family, but we are actually going to click this back button in the top left corner. When you click back, it'll take you to our homepage, and I'm actually going to do a quick screen share on my phone so I can walk you through how to report on those conversations we've had with our friends and family. So one moment, let me go ahead and get all set up. All right. So once you are in the app, one moment, it is loading. you're gonna see this homepage. We have a number of actions on this homepage, but the first thing we're gonna do is click this Take Action button. Using this Take Action button, you let us know who you have talked to about this upcoming election. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it. It's then gonna ask you if you've talked with someone who's already in your contacts or with someone new. I'm actually gonna record that I talked with our Florida Digital Director, Miranda. So and she is in my phone, so I'm gonna click with a friend or contact. I then can go and find her. So I'm gonna search Miranda. There she is. And I'm gonna go ahead, yep, this is her. And I'm gonna mark down any information I learned about Miranda. I know that she supports Joe Biden. I know that she told me that she has requested her vote by mail ballot. She also is definitely interested in volunteering. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and click Send to Campaign at the bottom. Now it says that I've earned points, I have taken action, and we now know, the campaign knows that you have talked to that person, so we know how to reach out to them next. Then we're gonna click this Continue Volunteering button. A couple of other features of the app, when you click Exit, we also have a really exciting action up for today. You can take a quick video to send over to us, wishing Joe good luck before he takes the debate stage. So if you have a few minutes, go ahead and record that video on the latest action. All right. So back to this, just as a reminder, the only contact information our campaign gets is information that you choose to send us. So you have complete control over what's in your phone, but using the Vote Joe app, we can contact so many people in your personal network and have really valuable and meaningful conversations with them. So go ahead, take the next few minutes before the debate, report on the conversations you've had, text your friends and family throughout the debate, use this app, text your friends, talk to them about the debate, see what they're thinking, and let us know in Vote Joe how those conversations are going. Make sure you are inviting your friends to download the app. They can do it these same ways, so they can text app to 30330. They can go to either of the two links in the second bullet point, or they can just search Vote Joe in the App Store. You all are now pros. You know how to take action. You know how to organize your personal network, and we need to keep doing this from now until Election Day. I need you to talk to your friends. We need you to talk to your friends. This election is too important not to. We do not want to wake up on November 4th and say, you know, my sister didn't vote this year, and be disappointed. We need to talk to them right now. All right, so that is what I've got for the evening. We are gonna turn it back, and we'll actually have the debate streaming here in our Zoom call. So if you'd like to stick around and watch the debate, you can do it here. It'll get started in just about 5 minutes. Take the next 5 minutes, record your quick video in the Vote Joe app for Joe, reach out to your friends and family, and report it in the app. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you very much for that information. That was very valuable, and it sure will be very useful, especially for the young generation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking your time out and coming together to watch this very special event. As Kate said, we now have 5 minutes left until the actual debate start. Please, you can stay here and we're going to watch the debate together. So if you would please do that, take a break, get you something to drink, get you a snack, and let's get situated so that we can be right here when the debate kicks off. We can have our blue pom-poms and doing our cheers. Go Joe, go Joe. So thank you very much, and we'll be back when the debate starts. Thank you so much.
Judy.